Hello. Yes, I am making another intention grid. I have realized it's been a while since I have filmed one, and I've had several people asking me questions about how do you do it? How does it work? Does it work? What do you do once the grid is made? Like, how is this whole process played out? And last night in our energy gym, it came up again, and one of my beautiful friends was just reflecting how powerful the process is. So, of course, I have been struggling, wrestling, trying to figure out what is my schedule going to look like from now through the end of this year. I have a sense that November and December are going to go very quickly, and then we're going to wrap up this year of 2019, which wraps up this decade of 2010. Remember who you were in 2010 through 2019, and as we complete this decade, we're going to just like move into 2020 with such momentum. And so it's been feeling more and more important to me to be very conscious of how I move through the rest of this year, to be very deliberate about where my time is going and what I'm doing with it and how it most serves myself, my family, all the work that I do. And so I'm combining this 2019 ending with intention grids, which I like and love and enjoy playing with. And so I'm going to create one. And I thought it might be helpful for you, for other people who are having that same sense of something needs to be figured out. I'm not quite sure what it is. I can't quite put my finger on it, which is where I am. So perhaps putting our fingers on it, putting our hands on the stones and creating something that we can look at that can remind us of our intentions. It's a way to help us move through whatever time frame we're exploring. Intention grids to me are just the same as playing in the dirt. So I love to garden, I love to be outside and to plant flowers and to watch things grow. It's winter now. I can't go outside and put my hands in the dirt, and touching the earth through stones is a really powerful way for me to tap into that same creative energy of, getting our hands dirty outside. So I have set up my space, and I'm going to do this, but also sort of be guiding you in how can you do this, or how can you apply what I'm showing you into whatever it is that you're exploring for yourself. So I will post a picture of what the space looks like from my perspective here, and I'll just describe it for you. I have a whole bunch of my stones and crystals on the table around me. I have my intention mat here in front of me, and I'm going to lift it up in a minute and put it on a box so that you can actually see what I'm doing as I do it. I have my music playing, so if you would like to know what it is, it's called, I don't know if you can see it. That's not going to show, is it? Okay. It's called I Am, and it's by Wayne Dyer. It's an audio that you can listen to on YouTube that taps into, as he describes it, the sounds of the universe, which is exactly the sounds that I need to be hearing as I play with time, time for the rest of this year. I have a drink, and I have right here this beautiful gift from my friend Gary Spinoza. I just received it, and it's literally like a portal. It's set up as a window frame, and it's like a portal into another time, another dimension. So I have that at my back, and then all of these tools around me, and my space is really quiet, very meditative and tranquil, which I feel is very important when we are setting intentions, is to not have all the stress and the chaos of life around us, but to have a little cocoon that we can step into. So set up your space, and then you can join me if you want to be walking right along this process with me. Okay, so let me raise my grid for you. A little prime shipping box. We have lots of this, as I'm sure almost everybody does. And I'm going to angle the camera just a little bit so you can see what I am doing. This is a very homemade, do-it-yourself kind of video. But look how cool it is. You can see me, you can see the grid, you got all the ambiance around us. It's good. All right, so what I am focusing on for this intention grid is the next 8 weeks. I feel like if we're going to take time and space to anchor in an intention, it's important to put some boundaries or some parameters around that intention. So what is it that you want to be intentional about, and for how long? If you want to create a new job, or work on a relationship, or focus on your health, or do home improvements, whatever it is that you're exploring, give yourself a time frame and then set that as your border around your intention grid. And your intention grid could be anything. Mine just happens to be this flower of life mat, which I love. It's fun to touch. It's got like a velvet texture. And it also resembles the earth to me in a sense, this beautiful sphere that is just floating in the universe. So this is going to be an 8-week grid. It's for now through the end of this year. And my intention is to balance out where my time is going to be going, and be very conscious of, if this is 8 weeks of time, if this is what I have available, where am I going to be spending that time? And how do I connect all the pieces so there's this seamless flow through my weeks until the end of the year. All right. The first thing that I'm going to put on there, and we'll see which one feels good. The first thing is going to be sleep. So I am going to use this little stone, and none of this is planned. I just have everything out and I'm trusting whatever my intuition is saying. This is going to be sleep. So it feels like when we go into sleep, we kind of cocoon in, snuggle in. And then there's this little white line in the center that to me feels like stars, or like a little hug around you while you're sleeping. So around me while I'm sleeping. I'm going to put that at where? So this is the base of my grid here. This is the top of my grid. It'll be the reverse for what you're seeing. I'm going to put it at the bottom of my grid. It really is the foundation of my well-being. When I sleep well, everything around me is calmer. If I don't get enough rest, I am cranky, I'm tired, I can't think as well. People around me aren't very happy with me. So sleep is the foundation, and my intention is I really do cocoon and sleep through the night, and that's not currently how I'm resting. I wake up and think, and things come up. So my intention is to sleep better. It's going to be the foundation of my grid. Whether that's 7 or 8 or 10 hours is going to be determined. We'll see. All right, the next thing is exercise, which feels like it should be, what color do I want it to be? I think this green and brown kind of stone. So my version of exercise right now is running outside, and it gives me a chance to connect with the earth, to breathe some fresh air, to get my heart beating. I feel better when I move a lot of energy, and so when I run, I move a lot of energy. So I'm going to put that like connected from the sleep kind of up. So when I'm rested, I have this direction of good health. I'm actually going to include in that eating well, drinking enough water. Like this is going to be health in general. So if I can't run outside, it's going to be my yoga. And I'm committing to doing something every day, at least 30 minutes, except for Sundays. I always take Sundays off. Sundays are my day to like not run. Okay, so sleep and health at the bottom of my grid. All right, then I'm going to have time for my meditation and reflection, which is going to be, I'm going to use this. Is that what I want? Groundedness. Actually, I'm going to use this one. Okay, it's an amethyst. Might not be super easy to see, but there's a lot of purples and browns and whites. And I'm going to put this at the top of my grid with the purple pointing down towards me. And I'll take a picture from above so you can see my grid at the end. So I have sleep, health, meditation. Like, actually it's funny, right in line with my heart chakra. Meditation time for me is everything. When I have a regular practice of meditation, which I do right now and have for a while, I am clear. I am able to focus my days and be really precise in how my time flows. I'm better for my family and my friends and my clients. Like meditation is, it just keeps me straight. It keeps me in flow. So it feels beautiful to have these three line up. I also know when I am meditating, I'm tapped into source. Look at me, tapped into source. I am directly connected to my source, and that's straight up, right? Crown chakra is straight up into the universe. That is absolutely where my source connection goes. It's also big, you know, like that's a pretty good sized stone, bringing in a lot of clarity. It's purple, which to me always connects to my third eye, so I'm able to use my intuition and trust it more. When I woke up this morning from my dreams, because I slept well, what I was feeling and hearing right away is, you can make an intention grid. This is what you should do today. So everything else kind of got shuffled around so that what my message from my own guidance says is what I do as the priority. So yeah, meditation. All right. And meditation also for me includes like my quiet time, when I'm able to slow down my brain, when I'm able to sit in my own cocoon, consciously awake, and feel right? Feel everything that's happening around me and in me. Okay. For the next 8 weeks, my priority in all of my time outside of this self-care, which is first, is to have my family and my friends. Let me see what I want to use for this. Is it? No, it feels like it should be a different one. Sorry, I'm not going to apologize. If you're watching the video, it's because you're interested. So which one is it that I want to use? I feel like I'm going to use this one. Actually, I'm going to use two. Okay. So family. Family's going to be this purple heart. Of course. Like, yeah. I mean, these are the people I chose to come into this lifetime with and spend the most time with. And yet often in my days, they're the people I spend the least amount of time with. And I'm changing that. I'm wanting that to be different. So as I move through the next 8 weeks, my intention is to put, this would be my family, and then this would be my friends. It looks like, it's a piece of agate, I think, but it looks like the earth, kind of a little slice, a little slice of the earth. Maybe a little slice of heaven right here on earth. Maybe that's more like it. I'm going to put that in the center of my grid. So family and friends together, I'm stacking them one on top of the other, in line with the center of everything else. It's a conscious choice, and you know, as busy as my family and my friends are, and I am, it really takes a commitment to say, when we have time available, we're going to actually be present together and listen to each other and support each other and cheerlead for each other. It's really easy in the routine as a mom to, you know, send the kids off. I shouldn't say kids because they're not kids. Send these beautiful grown-up souls that are still in younger bodies into their areas to do things, and we sort of divide even in our home. And I'm very aware I want more conversation, more connection. I want to be able to share what I'm feeling more with my family and listen as they share more, and then have more fun. You know, this year we have all worked so hard. It has been a really big, busy year in our household, and I'm sure for everyone. And as we, you know, kind of coast into these last 2 months, I'd like to have some more fun and enjoy the joy of my family. They are really fun, cool people. My friends are awesome. Like, there are some really amazing souls in my life, and being more present with them and not having it all be work and running feels really important. So they are at the center of the grid. All right. Travel is immediate, so I'm going to put that in right now because because I am headed to Boston and Cape Cod this weekend for a retreat for a weekend with the beautiful Alicia Mathewson and her community and Lorinda Raquel, and it's going to be amazing. So I'm going to sidebar that off of, actually, where do I want to put that? I'm going to place that just above here, family and friends, because I can tell it's going to be a beautiful time with my friend Alicia and her family. And also it's, once this is complete, then really I'm going to be home for the rest of the year. And so this is like a little side trip. So I'm going to put it right here to the side and anchor that energy. And we're doing an 11/11 portal event on Monday, and creating a circle and doing singing bowls, and I get to meet a couple of my friends new friends who are in that area, and it's gonna be fun. So I'm anchoring that in as something that's coming right away. All right, and then what I did for my preparation for my grid, which might be helpful for you depending on what you're looking at. For me, I wanted to look at the amount of hours that I'm spending. Yours might be dollars, it might be health measurements, it might be checklists for a partner or a child or whatever it is that you're looking at. So for me, I kind of mapped out, I have a little list where I wrote down the primary things that I do for my work, and then how many hours or sessions of those I have before the end of the year. So I can kind of get a feel of what's going to take the most of my work attention, and then how do I sort of place everything around me. So I'll just run through it and then I'm going to place them. So I have my podcast, which I do every day. I have about 25, I'm guessing, more podcasts before the end of the year. I have my meditations on Sunday, which are an hour each. Those, I think I have 7 left before we wrap up. The energy gym, I have 5 more Tuesday nights, which is where we do our live coaching and chatting. I have Awakening the Guides here, which is a program that's already set up, but it's a space that I hold, so I'll figure it out in a minute. My healing sessions, I've actually reduced the number of hours that I'm going to spend doing sessions through the end of this year, which really is the end of like December 15th, 20th is when I wrap up December 20th is when I wrap up my kind of work calendar, and then play, and then play with my family for the rest of the year. So that gives me 25 sessions before the end of the year. I'm doing my lunches, which are an hour. There's 9 of those left. 4 of the quietly listening, which are the acupuncture sessions. I'm going to do 2 embodied love classes, and then we have 1 more new moon circle. So it sounds like a lot, right? And when I list it, it feels like a lot, but I want to anchor it in a way that it feels easy and integrated, and one flows to the next, and they all weave into one beautiful collaboration. So the grid is helping me bring that all into alignment for myself. Okay, so I have my list, which I'd suggest if you have a lot you want to cover or put into your grid, make a list. So I'm going to start with the podcast. Where did I just put that little stone? Because it's the podcast, of course, the podcast. I got this from a friend. It's a little round ball, and it feels like the globe, except it's like the universe, because it's black and white. The universe in a globe. Okay, so the podcast, oh man, these are so much fun for me to make. You know, when I'm doing my exercise outside, I'm gathering information, taking my pictures, tuning into what I want to talk about for the day. And then when I come back home and I do my meditation, then I will sit for a little bit and really tune into what the message is. And then I just start recording them into my phone. So they're super easy. They're easy to make with technology as soon as I've got the recording done, and they're fun. So I'm guessing, I'm burning through some energy here. I'm guessing I have 20, 25 before the end of the year, because I do them most Monday through Fridays. So those are direct from source down. So I'm going to put those right above the family and friends in the line. There's a definite theme going here. Source is like leading me. So I'm going to anchor those in. Yeah, And it's fun because as I look at it, there's all these radiating lines and sacred geometry coming out from it. So, all right, these are the podcasts. The podcasts, easy, fun, round, circular energy constantly going. All right, the here now meditations are, yeah, I'm going to use this one. I don't know why. I don't know why. I just do it and I like it. Okay, so this stone, it's sort of in a triangle shape. I don't know if you can quite see it. Kind of a triangle, which it feels like that's the energy when I do these meditations on Sunday. It's source sends this energy down and then it runs through me and then I connect into the earth. And so my camera keeps going, what are you doing? It's trying to stay focused. And so the energy goes straight through and then we connect them again. So the earth connects, it's all like one line, but a triangle shape. And the green feels important because I use the green of my heart chakra to emanate energy. It's the green, the life force of the earth. And then also, you know, source connected to the earth would be green energy. So that triangle is going to go right in between source, which this was my meditation time, the Here Now with Gaia, and then the Gaia's Love podcast. So those are all straight in a line. That feels really good. All right, the next would be the energy gem. Ah, these are good. The energy gem. Is this what I want? I feel like it is. No, not quite. Maybe it's a different one. I think I'm gonna use this one. So it's a really rich clay color, like a red orange color. So much of what we are working on within the energy gem, it's our video chats on Tuesday, and it also includes the Sunday meditation. What we're working on in there is really anchoring into our own safety, our own core root chakra, and then receiving new friendship support. I mean, so much support and expanding, you know, so a lot of what's happening are these lower chakra colors. I almost have this one because we also are doing a lot of who I am in the third chakra, but for now it feels more important to do this. So I'm going to place the energy gym videos sort of to the side here of the Here Now meditations. So the meditations and the Tuesday calls are connected. So I want to sort of connect them on the same line. But also, like, these people are becoming my friends, you know? Like, I mean, they are my friends, but they're becoming like deeper friends, and I love them. So I want them to also be in the line to my family friends. So it's like a triangle shape that happens. That feels so good. So yeah, energy gym. That feels super in flow. I like my grid. Okay, the next one, awakening the guides. Okay, this one, I'm going to use this stone. It's blue, which all the images I use for awakening the guides are connected to water and the humpback whale and the deep sea. It feels like the whales hold, the whales hold old memory of life here on this planet. And I believe they energetically, vibrationally are teaching us and holding space for us as a humanity. And so when we can tap into the depths of the ocean and the power of these animals, I believe we are reminded, we are reflected of how our souls are that also. We are these ancient, wise beings within these very limited, dense, short-term human bodies. And so how do we access that bigger expression of who we are? And I believe the whales are a guide for that. The ocean is a guide for that. So Awakening the Guides is a program I created a year and a half, 2 years ago. That is a self-study program, and you just work through it on your own. It's 8 weeks, and it can take you 8 weeks, or it could take you 8 months. Depends on how much shit you have to clear and how willing you are to look at it. And so the program is set up to run on its own and to send you the information, and then you're working through it and just communicating with me as you go. So it's there's this container that I hold energetically for all who come into that space called Awakening the Guides. And as they complete the program and go into their next path, like they're my friends. They're my, is that even the word? They're my fellow guides. They're doing the work I'm doing after that. And so it feels like, you know, someone steps into the space and then they rise up out of it, and I'm lifting their foot up to help them into the next step of their path. So I'm very much invested in the community and how people work through it, but it's not as direct as, you know, the live things that I'm doing. So I'm going to put that, where would I want that? I'm going to put that down here at the base. Is there one on the left? At the right. At the base of this grid, sort of bridging. Yeah, it's going to bridge the line. It really helps you step between the physical and the spiritual and bridge both. So it feels good to have it down here at the bottom. Yeah, it's a foundational space I hold, so that feels good. All right, the next one, healing sessions. So healing sessions, when I do a healing session, it's individual, unless I'm doing a couple session, and it's focused energy. So, you know, most of these other spaces are group spaces where I'm monitoring lots of individuals at one time. With the healing sessions, it's so much energy focused on one individual that a lot of information comes through very quickly. So, you know, what they're wanting to explore, what a person is wanting to explore, this channel opens and like all this information comes through. And so as far as my time over the next 8 weeks, limiting it to 4 a week feels very empowering to me, very like I can breathe through that and have this extra space for the other things that I'm involved in, and the time where I want to move my time around. So 4 hours a week feels really good, and that's 25 before the end of the year. So what I'm going to do is put those on the left side, almost like the whole left quadrant of my time here is very much invested in supporting those individuals who are wanting that kind of growth and support before the year ends. It's also a really cool stone. It's one of my favorites. It's like gray and messy on one side and pink and messy on the other side. And it's also like so beautiful and so strong. It's a really heavy stone. Like it's really how I see the individuals I do work with in this way. Like they're so brilliant and resourceful and creative, and I love the individual healing sessions. They're amazing. They're amazing places for me to play. So all of that is anchoring in here on the left, which is the intuitive side, grounded into this earthly plane, because these are individuals who are ready to do some big work and leap into whatever they're doing next in their soul journey. All right, healing sessions, lunch and love. These are fun. All right, what do I want? Feels like it should be a party stone. I don't know if there's such a thing, but I need a good party stone for this. Let's see. This one jumped out of my hand, so it must be the right one. It has all these cool, it's so hard to tell with this camera, but it has like all these different colors and patterns and textures in it. It's kind of like a purpley brown, taupey sort of colored stone. So it's very diverse and complex. All right, I am going to put these. So I'm doing, how many do I have here? I have 9 more of these lunch hours before the end of the year, and they're all around town. So you can figure out which location is closest to you. Those I'm going to put, where do I want those? I think in between the healing sessions and the gym. So it's kind of sideways across to my family and friends line. Because what I find is, you know, when you have lunch with people, you connect with them more on an intimate that's not the right word. It's less formal than a lot of client relationships and structured settings are. Like you're just chatting over a meal, and so you kind of get to know each other more on a friend level. And yeah, I mean, I don't separate clients and friends really in my work. If you're connected to me in the work I do and my heart is open to you, then I consider you my friend. And until something shifts, you know, that's the way I will treat you and want to be treated by you. And so these lunch and loves are just a really fun way to chat and catch up with people that I'm getting to know better. So yeah, lunch and loves. All right, quietly listening. Oh my gosh, sacred. Sacred. Let me find the right stone for that. I'm going to use this one. So it's a really soft, smooth, like lavender purplish color, really soft purple. So Andrea Henkels is the woman that I host this quietly listening space with every other Wednesday. And I feel like I'm doing this more for myself than for anybody else because I love these so much. And also, like, if you do this, when you do this, hopefully, you're going to totally receive the benefits just like I do. So it's a half an hour every other Wednesday, and we call into this number, and Andrea and I share a few reflections, and then we all hang up, and I have a playlist of music ready, and you just lay back in your bed with your palms up, and then she does virtual acupuncture for the whole group, which if you have never done regular acupuncture, virtual acupuncture is better because there's no needles and she's not even in the room with you. You're literally laying on your bed. But what happens is Andrea can feel, just like I do in my energy work in circles, Andrea can feel what the group energy is like and where things can be adjusted so that everyone can like relax into greater ease and their body can heal. And so she uses her acupuncture training and years of experience to place the needles in her mind where they would most serve the individual in the group. And then you feel this wash of energy moving and rinsing the old stuff out. It is amazing. The people who have done it have just given incredible feedback and said, like, I wake up the next day feeling so good. So there's 4 of those left before the end of the year. Quietly listening is what it's called. And so I'm going to place this. This is interesting because it's definitely connected to sleep and health. I'm actually going to place it maybe to the left. So I'm creating a really wide arc. So here we have the body and sleep at the bottom, remember? And here we have meditation and connection to source at the top. So I've created an arc, which to me is on my left side. It bridges the physical and the spiritual. So it's all the way on the outside of this grid, and it's absolutely healing. So that meditative space at night, falling asleep, travels all the way through and then heals the body, which then runs more energy up, and it's just this circuitry of energy. So yeah, gosh, I'm loving my grid. This was such a good idea. Thank you to my energy gym friends for the suggestion, even if you didn't know you were suggesting it for me. Okay, embodied love. Embodied love. What stone best serves that? All right, apparently it's this one. I didn't think it would be this one, but is it? No, it's this one. It's this one. Well, I kind of keep going back and forth. Embodied love. It's this one. Okay. So this is, it's a little tiny amethyst. Little tiny amethyst, a little chunk of it. And you can see, I don't know if you can tell, but you can see the layers of the stone going across, like going this way all the way down. There's purple amethyst at the top, which is shiny and pretty. And then there's like this stone, this rock, this groundedness at the bottom. So Embodied Love is a new class that I am teaching. I don't know if I have the words for it yet. I'm going to hopefully make a video that will explain it soon and describe it more. But basically, it's the practice that I've developed over the last few years of really bringing more and more of my infinite soul down and into my human body, and allowing that fullness of who I am to be really present here, not floating out above in the universe, tracking and checking everything, but like right here. And that ability to be that present, to be embodied love, soul embodied in the physical form, it's a transformative way to live life. And I believe it can be taught. It's going to take a lot of practice and a lot of discernment on my part to figure out how to teach it. But I feel like a pathway is being shown to me step by step. It's a new teaching of old things, but a new way to teach it. And I feel still a little protective of, do I have the words for it? Do I have the ability to express it fully? You know, how am I going to navigate this? And so we learn through practice, right? We learn through teaching. And I had one class and it was beautiful. And also it was overwhelmingly emotional for me, which is a sure sign that something important is happening. So I have put 2 dates on the calendar before the end of the year, 2 dates in December, to host 2 more classes and see what else is there for me to learn right now. And then I keep looking at this like it has all the answers. And then this class is going to be one I take to yoga studios and healing centers and teach to lots and lots of people. And I'm excited for it. And also I'm a little unsure of how it's going to take form. So for now, I'm going to put it directly across the grid from quietly listening, because I'm still very much tuning in to what it is. It's definitely bridging spiritual and physical, so it's on the curve. And it's definitely right side of my body, meaning there's action to be taken. It's not a feeling thing anymore. There's something that needs to be created, that needs to be brought into the physical expression. And I'm ready, and also I'm still discerning. It hasn't quite come all the way into the physical yet. And it's very much in alignment with Awakening the Guides. You know, Awakening the Guides is a self-study, and I feel like Embodied Love is me directly with the individuals in group, teaching, practicing, learning within the space together. So, yay. All right, what else do we have? New moon circle. Oh goodness. What shall we do? Actually, this is going to be for the last one. What should we do for the new moon circle one? I think we're going to do this one. All right. I just got these a couple weeks ago for the new moon circle. Maybe that's why we're using it. So my little nephew would tell me, little 5-year-old Leo would say, that's a geode. And it is definitely a geode. I love these because there's so much going on, and it's like a stone that's cut in half, and you get to see the center of it. So so the new moon circles are once a month. There's one left this year, and then we'll start up again in January. So they're a circle. I love how this works. I don't even think it, and then my intuition brings it. So the circles are a circle, just like the stone. We all sit in the container together, and then everyone gets to show their good and their bad, their ugly and sweet, their messiness and their amazingness. Like, we talk and we share with each other what's happening in our lives, and then encourage each other to be better at not to be better, to get into greater alignment with who we're here to be. And we do that through conversation and sharing and reflections, and I do some energy work, and we just are all in the same container together for a couple hours, and it's amazing how much can shift when you show up in a space like that and really allow yourself to be seen. So new moon circle, and there's one of those left, so I'm going to put it right here across from the 25 healing sessions, and they look like they're about the same size, which really that's 3 hours of my time, and that's 25 hours of my time, so it's definitely not the same in my grid. But the beauty that comes from that, 25 individual sessions, we get a lot done with individuals. But when 15, 20 people are in one room and we do 3 hours of focused work, it's so big. It's literally the same size, right? As far as impact energetically and encouraging people to be on their path. So, and it's also very much action based. I give assignments at Circle. People leave with things they have to do. Whether they do it or not is up to them. There's assignments that are made. So yeah, it also feels like it grounds my grid really well. It balances it, the circle and the session. So that feels really good to me. That feels really good. All right, and I have one more thing on this list, the 2019 to 2020 transition. So we are going to use this orange calcite, which I believe is from my daughter, or maybe this is the one I got for myself. I think this may be my own. I had hers for a long time. So to me, this reflects orange is second going into third chakra, orange to yellow. It's very much about receiving and abundance and then expressing ourselves. And there's a lot of white in here, which to me feels connected to source, how to source and that energy move through you and be expressed through you. It also feels like a pretty significant, long, skinny thing that could be a bridge that could walk us across. So I'm going to put it right at the top of the grid, pointing this way. So here we are in 2019, in the last 2 months of the year. I'm anchoring in my schedule. And then this is going to, I'm going to move a little further out. It's going to point us into the future and into what's coming next. So it's like the portal after these 8 weeks. And a reminder to me that all of this is funneling energy into the future. And how do I bring all this as a collaboration that right, moves energy forward? Yeah, that was fun. Is that everything? I can't believe that's all of it. I feel like I thought it was going to take more time. Yeah, that's everything on my list. All right, I'm going to add something else. What do I want on here? Just because I'm going to use this orange one. So this is just some magical fun, some awesome, unexpected, delightful surprises that are just going to go, yeah, when they happen. Is that what that's totally what I want. I was trying to think I wish I had some sparkles, like something sparkly that I could like throw over the top as like a little extra pizzazz, just to throw some extra fun in. But I'm going to have this be a placeholder for lots of extra fun. And I'm going to put it, where shall I put it? I'm going to put it right in between my health, so sleep and health, and then family and friends. It's also right in between my client sessions and my new moon circle. And it's right in the center of a little flower popping open. So that orange is going to be a placeholder for me of some really fun, surprising things that are going to just show up that I'm not expecting, that fit into my schedule easily, and that bring me great joy, and that bring me more health, mind, body, spirit health in alignment with my family and my friends, that balances the work that I'm doing with sessions and circle and just lets me like play right in the front. So that orange is like, I don't know. Let's see what's gonna happen. Yeah, that feels really, really good. Yeah, and the other thing, I didn't have this here, but in this little one for Alicia, I don't know if you can see, there's a tiny little orange mark right at the edge of the stone. So to me, that represents the creative play space that Alicia and I have on Patreon. I don't know if you've already seen that we do that, but it's just that same sort of fun energy. I do a new moon spread, so I'm going to do one more of those before the end of the year. And then she does full moon tarot card or full moon chanting, and then we usually have a conversation once a month about whatever. So yeah, that also is in this little blue stone right here with Alicia. All right. This was so much fun. I hope that you received some guidance and wisdom from this and that you're inspired to create your own grid. You can't screw it up. There's no rules. You make your own rules as you go. It's just for the fun of it. And then the intention. So for me, like, I'm going to keep seeing this every time I walk by the table in the dining room because I put it on the little side table. My husband does not enjoy that. It's like there's altars everywhere, but it's where I can see it the most, and it feels so much fun to me. So I have it on this whiteboard, so I can literally just pick it up and then take it over and slide it right onto the table. So you may want to do that with your grid if you're going to be working on it somewhere where it won't be staying. Put it on a little carry thing. And then once I place it, I usually will just put my hands over it and say a prayer or a blessing, calling in my guides to really help me stay in alignment with the grid and to remind me to come back to center when I go off course a little bit. And then also just to remind me to have fun, to not take everything so seriously, and to allow this journey of my life to be an adventure that I just revel in, you know, that I just revel in. And so music makes it more fun, and then sharing it with you makes it more fun, and it just becomes the way that I live. So yeah, intention grid for the rest of the year. So good. Thank you for hanging out with me. And if you decide to make your own intention grid, please share it and let me know. And then if anything I've shared in here you have questions about, just shoot me an email and we'll check it out together. All right, here's through the end of 2019. So much love. Mwah.